In this exercise, we're going to continue our exploration of JavaFX framework, and we are going to more specifically design a little application where we have a bubble, a circle drawn in a pane, and we are going to have 4 buttons in our application that allow us to move that bubble, that circle, up, down, right, and left. Okay, so I'm starting once again with my default template here, my JavaFX empty application template. So let's make sure that compiles and produces an empty application. There we go. So we are ready to start. I'm going to start by renaming this, I guess. So the name I'm going to use is going to be BubbleButtonsRemote. There we go. I had to double check that. So let's change the name of the class. BubbleButtonsRemote. Let's save this. Yes, let's rename and save. There we go. Okay, so now that I am ready to get started with that, let's see what I need actually in my application. So before I do that, actually, BubbleButtonsRemote. Okay, so I'm going to need to actually create a row of buttons. And I'm going to have to create a pane in which I'm going to draw my circle. So that gives me an idea already of the kind of stuff I need here. So I have already a basic pane here. Let's start by drawing our circle. So we're going to use those coordinates and radius. I'm going to set the size of my scene here accordingly. So let's say I'm going to do 200 by 150. Okay, small window. What else? I'm going to set the characteristics of that circle. So the fill color. So I'm going to need the class circle. I'm going to need so far the class color. So I'm going to have to add those imports sooner or later, and I'm going to probably pause here. As soon as I get to the point where I can display a circle that looks like what I want, then I will test my program and add the missing imports. Okay, so there we go. Some characteristic here for my circle, and then I add it to the children of the pane. So that means that now it should be able to display. So let's go and fill in the blanks for our import statement. We need layout pen here, import javafx dot. Let's see, what do we need? We need paint dot color. Oops, I forgot scene. So this is under scene. There we go. What else do I need? The circle. JavaFX dot scene dot shape dot circle. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it for now. So let's try to compile. Well. That's not playing very nice here. JavaFX scene. Yeah. Paint. That's a little better. So let's try again without the typo. And then what do we have? We don't have a method set scene because I set the dimension of the scene during the set scene instead of the creation of the scene, actually. That was a bad idea. There we go. Compile again. There we go. So let's run and see what we get there. Well, nothing spectacular, right? But at least it's getting the job done. So we had our first milestone. We have our correctly resized window where here seen. We have our circle drawn in it. Now we need to start working on actually having this row of buttons and affect the position of the circle based on the button. And I just shut down everything here. Oops, there we go. We are back. So let me close this. And let's go back to the code. So now we are going to create our buttons. So we are going to locate this button in a horizontal box. So of course the horizontal box is a H box. And this horizontal box is going to allow us to have very easily a neat row of buttons that we are going to locate at the bottom end of our window later on. Okay. So what do we have? We have a button BT, so left, and we are going to create it on the fly. Okay, new button, left. So we are going to have the 4 directions here, and I'm going to be a bit lazy here. I'm going to just copy 4-time declaration of a button, and then I'm going to modify it. Let me remove those things that are annoying. Left, right, up, and down. And accordingly, we are going to modify the button variable name. So this is going to be right. This is going to be up, with uppercase U to be consistent. And this is going to be down. Okay. So we do have our buttons now. We have a HBox, but we haven't added them yet in the HBox. So we are going to set the alignment of the HBox so that all the buttons are centered. So our HBox here is going to do set alignment. So we need already a button, a HBox, and now we are going to need also pos to be able to do this. So actually I'm going to put this here. Let's follow a certain logic, right? I create the HBox, I set its alignment, and I create my button, and then HBox does get children as always, okay? And add all because I have several buttons to add. So BT left, BT, hold on, yeah, I can do that like this. BT right, BT up, BT down. There we go. Okay, so we are adding to the HBox. The HBox itself is not yet added actually to our pane. Okay, so that's not going to do much for us right now. We're going to see about that in 1 second. Okay, but right now let's just make sure that it compiles. Actually, before even we try a compile, let's go ahead and import all of our all of our button and pos classes and stuff like that. So we're going to add a little bit more from the scene, javafx.scene. So what do we need? We need paint color, we have already. We need control button. Okay, and then javafx.geometry.class. Okay, is that all I needed? No, I need an HBox to layout. So I'm going to add. I thought I had already a layout here. Yes, I do have a layout here. Import javafx.scene.layout.edgebox. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm not going to run it. It compiles fine. I'm not going to run it because there's really nothing new actually. I'm not displaying the buttons yet or doing anything like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to insert those buttons in my pane. But before I do that, I am going to first define and create a border pane. So border pane, let's call it BDP. It's a little lazy, but that should still be easy to remember. Border pane, okay. BDP dot, let's see, we are going to put in the center our current pane, okay. We have already a pane created, a basic plain pane. We're going to put it in the center, and we are going to put BDP dot set bottom. We're going to put our HBox right underneath. Okay, and then bdp.setAlignment. We are going to do a little bit of feng shui here. HBox pos dot top center. All right. So that's going to make our border pane contain both the pane where we drew the circle, the HBox where we have the button neatly centered around it, below it, and then we are going to add here in our scene our border pane. Okay, so we put our pane into the border pane alongside with our row of buttons. Now we add it to the scene. So now we have something we could compile, okay, except that we're missing border pane here. So I'm going to add this real quick. Import border pane. Let's reindent this neatly. There we go. And let's compile. compiles okay. Let's give it a run to see what's going on, and here we are. So you can notice that the background color changed a little bit here, so that's okay, but most importantly we have everything here. Whoops, this was a little bit of a wild resizing there. We have everything here centered at the bottom with our row of buttons. So of course the buttons right now are not doing anything. Okay, we're going to work on that next. But that's pretty much the second main milestone for our application. So let's close this. And now we're going to go for the last stretch. We are going to actually add event handlers pretty much to our buttons. Okay, so we're going to do that after we display the stage. Why not? So the general pattern is going to be as follows. Let's take care of one button first, get it to work, and then we'll cut and paste to do the others. Okay, so the idea is for us to use the method setOnAction, and we are going to use actually the most readable version of this thing, which is you pass a lambda expression here to setOnAction. Okay, so lambda expression means that, let me close my opening parenthesis here. Lambda expression means that I'm going to take an event E, okay, and execute some code. So here's some code right here. And this code is going to operate on circle. So I know that I'm going to do something on my object circle. I want more specifically to set its property center X, okay? And I'm going to do circle.get center X. So I get the property first, okay? Test that it's greater than 0. Because remember, we want to make sure that we cannot move our circle, you know, out of the window. So if that's true, then I'm going to do circle.get center X again. No, that's not good. Let's rewrite this. I'm going to say I have actually, well, actually no. Let's do it like this. So I'm going to just cut and paste for now. Get center X minus 2 or 0. Okay. And close my curly brace here, close my parenthesis here. Let's give it a shot and compile this thing a bit. It's compiling nicely. Now let's try to run it and see if our left button is doing anything at all. Well, yeah, it's moving. Okay, it's moving, and it's actually still allowing it to go up to the center. So I didn't prevent the circle from actually disappearing partially from the window. I just prevented it from disappearing completely. If I wanted to make sure that it doesn't even go halfway out of the window, I would just have here to make sure that I test not only that the center is greater than 0, okay, greater or equal than 0, but also that the center minus the radius of the circle is greater or equal to 0. Of course, the other buttons are not doing anything for now, but now that we have this basic recipe, we can use it actually to take care of the other button as well, okay? So that's what we are going to do right now. So I'm going to, again, reindent, get rid of this. I'm going to take care of the right button, and I'm going to do them all like that, one by one, and test them in between. All right, so for the right button, what we want to test actually is that we are in get center X lesser than scene.getWidth. So it's not 0, it's the other end of the screen, the other extreme of the window, the scene here. So I get the width here, and if I move towards the right, so that means a plus here. Okay. And that should be nice. Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so we know the left is already working, and we know it allows the circle to go halfway out the window. Yes, the right is not yet exactly doing what I wanted to do. So let's fix that here. We have a little problem. So hold on, let me switch here. There we go. Now let's go back and review this. What did I do wrong here? Yeah, okay. Well, that's not nice if we are trying to test if we are already past the end of the screen, right? So we have to test here that we are still lesser than the scene width, okay? That's what the problem was here. So let's see, let's recompile that. Hopefully that will fix all of our problems. Let's try again. So left is working, right is working, and as we always do when we test things, let's try the extreme case. Okay, so I can go halfway out, and then it's going to take a little while here. I'm going to click like crazy for like a minute, right? But I want to test that this bubble is also getting stopped on the right hand side of the scene. So almost there. So we are going halfway, and then we are coming back to 0. Okay, so that's interesting. So that means that our yeah, okay, I see where that is. This default value here is not going to do. So scene.get width. Too much cut and paste oriented programming here. So let me save, compile, and we are going to try again. So I'm going to try directly with the right button, okay? And if I keep having to debug this, I'm going to definitely move my circle to a position closer to the right hand of the window, okay? So that I don't have to click for a minute every single time I test. Okay, so I won't have to redo another test. This is working. This is bumping on the right side of the window here. Perfect. Okay, so we are done with our second button. So let's work next on the up button. So again, despite the risk, I'm going to do another bout of cut and paste programming here. There we go. All right. So I said I was going to do up next, I believe. So there we go. So now we are, so right and left were x coordinate. Okay, so now we are going to look at the property of our circle, that is the y center coordinate. I am going to set that y center coordinate. I am trying to get the initial value of the y center coordinate, and I'm going to test if it's greater than 0. Okay, so remember that the coordinate system has its origin on the top left of our scene. Okay, and then I'm going to get center y and decrementing. Decrementing means going up. And if we are bumping into the top of the window, then we do not go any further. Okay, if we try to get negative, we don't. Save. That one should be okay. Compile. Run. So let's see again. So left, right, we already tested that. Let's see what the up button is doing. Looks like it's working. Let's test the limit case. Yep, it's stopping it where it should. So third button done. Now the last one we have to worry about again is going to be the down button. So one quick cut and paste, and let's start our renaming. So BT down. We are still working on the y coordinate. Okay, we are still getting the original value of the y coordinate, just like we did with the x coordinate. We now need to test that we are at the end of our scene, so we are going to get the height of the scene, and then we get our current coordinate and modify it. So we do the opposite of what we did before, and this time we are not going to let ourselves be caught by the same little bug that we did before. I am going to directly take this and modify it here. This is my limit. Okay, I don't go past the bottom limit of the scene. All right, let's try this. Compile. Let's give it a spin. So we already tried up, right, left, down. Sorry, left, right, up. So let's try down, and let's make sure that we are not going past what we wanted to do. So we're going all the way down, and now we are at the limit. Okay, so we can go back up, and half the circle is out, like for the over, how to say, the over sides of the scene. So pretty much we are done with our little application. We can move, we can remote control our bubble on the screen based on those 4 buttons, and it gave us an opportunity to set some event handlers here and use a lambda notation to do so.